Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here, and I have a rather large package in the mail all the way from Finland. So I'm sitting in a slightly different position in the game room. I actually have these couches in here now, and thought it would be best to, rather than doing things on the floor for large boxes as I do, I've got a little coffee table here. So I'll change the position of the camera and we'll open the box together. Alright, hopefully you can see there. You can see it's quite a big box. A little bit of side crushing. There's lots of padding in there by the looks of it. I'm trying to hit the camera at the moment. Okay, can you see there? Yeah. So we've got lots of finish air. And there we go. It is. Right, so there's another little package there. Interesting. There's something else with an address on there. I might have to do a bit of post editing. We'll have a look at those. Alright, so there's some tape titles in that little packet. So obviously, as you can see, it's a Spectravideo SVI-728 in a box. The box isn't perfect, and we have another device as well. But let's quickly go through these tape title. So we have MSX Data Master. None of them have covers, but we have Jumping Jack, Crunch. So these are all MSX ones. Mini Golf, and Turtle Drawer. And last but not least is Castle Combat. So I said no covers, and those ones, actually my one of those particular series doesn't have a cover either, so it's interesting about that. So we have the 728 here, so what we'll do, we'll move the box out of the way. So we can have a closer look. Right, sorry for the little cut, I just adjusted the viewfinder to make sure that I'm putting things in frame. So the box is not too bad. Here's the other face as well. That's actually, I was expecting it to be way worse than that. Just got a bit of, I suppose, mould from mildew and from being stored. Now, there's no power supply with this computer, but I actually have a spare one. And this is the only Spectravideo model that I'm missing. So it's not too bad, it's actually not too yellowed or anything. The keys are quite dirty, but I'm sure they'll clean up. So it looks extremely similar to the 328. I did actually have one of these, but I sold it to buy my 738. Now you've got the MSX cartridge slot there. It's only got the one cartridge slot. They chose to have an expansion slot on the back. So on the back we have our AV out and an MSX Centronics, which is a mini Centronics port, and an expansion bus there, which you can plug a floppy disk drive into. And oh, sorry, that's the power. There's actually a ground pin. You've got composite video and audio, and RF out all built in there. Around the side we have our power and our power switch, and me being dumb person here, that's actually the tape port. It actually looks like this is not seated inside its case, so we're going to have to open this up and make sure it's okay. See how the joystick port's not lined up in there? We may have to do a little bit of a repair job, I reckon. Yeah, so that joystick port is not lined up. Just give you a quick look underneath. But overall not too bad. We'll have to see whether he fires up and give it a bit of a clean. But it's nice, you know, fixing that hole in the collection, and even better that it's actually a boxed one. Now there's one more item which is also in a box, and it is an 80 column cartridge for this very machine and other MSX machines as well. Now I'm not 100% sure how it achieves this in this particular form factor, but the 738 actually had an MSX2 video chip in it, and that's how they got the 80 column mode. So maybe this actually adds an MSX2 graphics chip. It'll be interesting to have a play. This box is in really good condition. Let's have a look. Yeah, the box is actually completely sealed. Yeah, this is in much better condition. There seem to be a few of these going around at the moment. So some old stock that's been found. So inside we have a manual, and all of our original foam is in there. Yeah, even the foam is sealed, so this is actually a brand new one. And there we go. It is brand new in packaging, so obviously that goes to the cartridge slot. Does obviously stick up a little bit, and it has its own video out for hooking up to a separate monitor. So it obviously has its own video circuitry. It's actually an RF cord that is supplied, so I really don't know a lot about it. I'm not going to unwrap it at the moment. I'll read the manual and read up on it a bit first before we get too carried away. Sorry, I'm just finding the appropriate. Yeah, so there we go. $80 socket and video cable. It's obviously designed for running in CPM. It will support the 80 column, but it'll be interesting to see what they use to actually do this. I'll have to do a bit of reading up on it. But really cool additions to the hardware and a little bit of software as well. So what I'll do, I will clean this up and we'll fire it up and see if it works, and we'll load those tapes and see how we go. Okay, welcome back. On closer inspection I have actually noticed that all of these keys along here, and those two and those ones and those ones, have all been replaced by keys from a completely different machine, and some of them don't actually have the correct characters and stuff on there. Now it does have a finish ROM in it, I've had a look, but it's also missing something else that's rather important. Let's just open him up. Just careful, got to be careful of the keyboard connector. Well, for a start, there's not one screw in the entire thing, so the case wasn't screwed together, and neither of these, the main board and the sub board, are screwed on, other than the screws attaching these heat sinks to the to this plate at the front here, which is like a larger heat sink. And most importantly, there is no chip in this socket. Now, this is a Z80 based computer, and that's what's missing. So, and there's nothing wrong with that keyboard thing, which is the motherboard wasn't pushed in correctly, and those joints look okay. I can actually fire the machine on, and it comes on, so its power circuitry is working, but until I have a Z80A I can chuck in there and test, I'm a bit stuck. I have messaged the seller, and we shall see how we go with that. But anyway, look, at the end of the day, I do have the 80 column card in a box, and I do have the box for this, and I have one of these machines. It's not going to be actively used that much, it just would have been nice if it had have worked. and it's not nice when somebody tells you, send you something that's not as described. So we might as well round out this video by trying out these tape tables now. Alright, we'll cut to that. Alright, so here we go with MSX Data Master. I don't expect to do a very long video on this. This is just going to be a filing program. And I don't have the instructions, so I do not think we are going to get very far. Yeah, I can't even find another alternate image other than the picture I took of the cassette of this one, so just an oddity. Let's move on to the games. Okay, now we have Crunch. Okay, we can't fall down. Fire bars will jump over the holes. Watch out for the monitors, they will crunch you. Are you using cursor control? Just cursor control. We better go for easy, because I will be hopeless. So we have to get the blue things, eh? Okay, so they're pretty slow. Oops, yeah, don't run into the monsters. Yeah, it would be nice if you could actually go off the edge, but anyway. No, you can't seem to jump the monsters either, which is a bit mean. Makes it very hard to go down, yep. This monster up here. Which that one turns around. Nope, that's through. Well, we have almost made it. Now is they going to turn around? Oh god. And we're dead. Oh, well, once again, not a too bad little game. Not bad for a game written in BASIC by somebody back in the day. Let's try our next game. Right, here we go with Turtle Draw. Okay, make sure caps lock is on. Okay. No. Left 50, is that a turtle command? No, it doesn't seem to. Let's try. I think it's going to be another one of those other ones that I'm going to have to try and find a guide. And there's not a lot of information on Spectravideo titles, unfortunately, because they're very obscure. See, none of the letters seem to be accepted. Aha. What is it? Left 100. No. Draw 100. I don't know whether it will accept a help command. No. Oh dear. Alright, we're going to leave it at that. I will work that one out later. Mini Golf has a snap tape, so I won't be able to do that one. So we have one more Castle Combat. Right, so here we go with Castle Combat. This one is a machine code title, so there we go. We didn't do too bad. Okay, it's already put us in the game. I haven't hit anything yet. Oops. Collision detection's a bit. Oops, bang. Ah, oh. Yeah, let's start the game again. Kill those ones. Learning the patterns of the buggers. Ooh. Well, the collision detection's pretty spot on when they hit you, is all I can say. Ow! Surely that hit him. And we start again. Damn, almost had it. You can almost overtake your own goods. Right, I gotta go, there we go. Whew. Answers are waiting for me. Oh god, okay. Okay, now I've got some scrolling. I take it it's very bad if I hit any of those. Oh. Ugh. Very hard patterns. Oh, well, that's got more to it than first expected. So, I actually did find a screenshot of that one when I was looking, but still no cover or anything like that. So, I've got no idea what the covers were for these. Spectravideo did release a lot of games just with on generic blisters, so they could have come like that as well. So, don't know. Anyway, another machine for the collection doesn't work at the moment. I shall ask the seller some questions and see what happens there. Otherwise, I found a couple of cheap Z80s I can get for like $7 delivered. I can always get those and try, but the very fact that they've taken Z80 out means they might have taken Z80 out and put it in another machine. But we won't know until we put something else in. I'm not willing to take a Z80 out of one of my other working machines. So, another project for the project pile, but at least I do have the machine, and I wasn't going to actively use it that much anyway, but anyway. Alright, I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.